Okay, ladies and gentlemen.
Now for running around.
It is the hour.
The City of Lawrence Police Merit Commission will come to order at 6:02 p.m. Pledge of allegiance, please. All those present stand. Those online. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all. Thank you. We have a quorum. We have 4 present, 1 electronically. Any comments of the commission? Ronald?
None.
Bob?
None.
Gail? None. Aaron?
None.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay. Chair will entertain an approval of the minutes of the regular meeting from the 14th. Oh, anybody have a motion?
So moved.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
So second.
We have a first and a second.
Who made the first?
Ron did. We'll now move to a roll call vote because we have one. So Karen, when we do roll call votes tonight, we'll start with you throughout the night. So Karen?
Aye.
Aye. Ron?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Gail? And myself, aye. So there's unanimously. Unfinished business, none. New business, Chief. We will be determining the minimum Erica, Captain. I'm sorry, ma'am. We will determine the minimum passing standards for written exam and selection criteria. The members of the commission had been emailed ahead of time the spreadsheets for that data plus the letter from testing site, IPSP. Erica, you have any presentations?
The only thing I need to find out from you guys based on the information that you were given is if we want to determine the passing standards for the written exam as the most qualified or the qualified.
Everybody has received the letter and hopefully read the letter from the testing facility. It is my understanding that there was a much less anticipated outpour of applicants this time, and basically we're given information here through the letter of a recommendation, and we're also given information through the raw data on the spreadsheet. Basically, applicants 1 through 7 are most qualified, and applicants 8 and 9 are qualified. If you take a look at the data, it appears that we could comfortably do 1 through 9 and still be in a very respectable 0.82 to 0.94 range. We're really not subjecting ourselves to any low standards percentage-wise. Is there any discussion on that? None being, the chair would entertain a motion to accept applicants 1 through 9 to be accepted and move on to the next process.
A motion to accept.
We have a motion. Do we have a second?
Second.
We have a first and a second. We'll now move to a roll call vote.
Second.
Gail, then Bob.
They kind of.
Karen?
Is this for the most qualified or qualified?
It's for both. Applicants 1 through 9, which include both. Karen?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Gail?
Aye.
And myself, aye. So it carries. So applicants written rank 1 through 9, which qualifies as the most qualified and qualified, will move forward. All righty. B on our new business is resolution number 1, 2 of 22, which is a resolution establishing the written policy by which the members of the Lawrence Police Commission, Merit Commission, may participate in meetings by electronic means of communication. Upon speaking to our counsel, I reviewed this with her, and I had noticed there were some items in here that really don't apply to us. And the explanation given to me was this is pretty much straight out of the statute of what everybody is using, especially what everybody here in Lawrence is using. And if it is included in here, but we are statutorily not obligated to do that function or forbidden from that function, it doesn't matter if the language is there. Having the language there does not obligate us to do those functions, nor does it prohibit us from doing them. It's our statutory obligation that does that. So in order to just save time and money for us and the city and having her rewrite this, I had her clarification that it being in there really does not muddy any waters for us. What applies to us applies, what doesn't. With that is, I know you've all had a chance to read it. Is there any discussion? No discussion. I will now entertain a motion to waive the reading. We have a first from Ron,
I'll make it.
second from Bob. Okay, the motion to waive, we'll now vote. Karen?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Gail?
Aye.
And myself is aye also. Chair will now entertain a motion to accept and adopt this resolution into our rules and regulations as our functioning body. Do I have such a motion?
So moved.
We have a first by Gail, second by Karen. We take a vote. Karen?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Gail? And myself. The resolution is adopted and passed on this day, the 25th of April, 2022. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
It allows us to continue in somewhat the manners needed as we were in an emergency declaration, but a little bit more guidelines, so it's very nice to have. Okay.
President Willer?
I'm sorry, Karen, yes?
No, it was actually Erica. I want to let you know there was another part to our agenda, which was establishing the selection criteria.
Okay, I apologize, ma'am. I did not see that. Okay. Go ahead and present that. I do not have any paperwork on that. I'm sorry.
So determining the selection criteria, it's when we provide a half point for anyone that falls within these categories, which one of the categories is a war veteran who was honorably discharged from the United States Air Force. The second point is mother or father who was a firefighter of a unit, municipality police officer, or county police officer that died in the line of duty, as defined as IC 5-10-10-2. The third one was a police officer, firefighter, county police officer, or a full-time or part-time employee by a township to provide fire protection and emergency services, who has been laid off through IC code 36-8-4-11, and or the fourth one being a graduate from the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy, ILEA, from the basic law enforcement certification and maintained in-service training hours for that certification. So what we're looking for is to make sure those four will be awarded as a selection criteria for a half a point that will be awarded at the later meeting in June.
Captain, correct, aren't those requirements already in our guidelines?
They are, but we have to determine what that criteria is, and that's what the police department is recommending, that those four. The first three are actually required by law. The last one is not. It's one that we have added throughout several of our processes as being a certified graduate of the Indiana Law Enforcement Academy.
Okay. All right, well. Pardon me, I'm a little confused. So, because I remember seeing those in our mission rules, but we're adding something to it. So we're actually you're wanting an amendment to it?
No, we're not anything. At this meeting, we're determining what that selection criteria is.
Okay.
So it just says that the Merit Commission can have a selection criteria. The question is, what is the selection criteria? And the police department is recommending those four as the selection criteria. All four of them we have had in all previous hiring processes.
I totally agree with you. I thought we adapted that when we went through. I thought we changed that and actually put them in so they were already in the examination process. Correct me
Not
if
as
I'm
far
wrong, please.
what is not in the rules. That is not verbatim. It just says selection criteria.
Okay.
Determine
All right.
selection criteria.
All right. Thank you. I'm sorry. I I just remember we changed so many things, and I thought that was one of the things we actually put in there. So, as you all heard, the captain, she is looking for the addition and approval of the selection criteria. Do we have any discussion on that? No discussion,
So,
Dean?
may I ask a question?
Yes.
So these 4 points, as Captain said, we've included 3 of these 4 in past, last year and previous years. So every year, will we be reviewing the selection criteria, or will these 4 become a standard part for every year?
These 4 have been a standard part every year, all 4 of them. So, but it's not in our rules. We have to go back each time and ask for it unless we amend our rules.
Okay, thank you.
Captain, would that be some, I mean, obviously, now we're going to do our best to give you what you're requesting right now, but would that be something for a future discussion to go ahead and add those, just as the other things that are already in print, or do you see these things varying as time goes on with situations?
I don't want to bore the chief, but I know that we are currently trying to re-examine how we are doing our hiring process. How do we get more applications, interest forms? How do we get people to want to do this job? And I think selection criteria really leaves the Merit Commission that ability to add and or take from the hiring process. So for example, several things that have been mentioned is, were they a previous Explorer? Were they a previous Reserve? Could those points be added? Yes, if the Merit Commission deems it necessary at the time. So I think that coming back each time is nice to do.
So the flexibility would
Yeah.
be more appropriate at this time.
I'm sorry, it cut off. There was too many.
So the flexibility would be more opportune for us as times change. Just leave it on a more flexible basis.
That's right, because everything's changing for us in law enforcement, for the Merit Commission, for all of us. So I think it would be best for us to be more flexible in that category.
That's fine. I was just, if it wasn't, then that would streamline it a little bit more for you if we already had it in there. But if that flexibility needs to be had, that's fine. I don't have an issue with it. If any other commission members have any comments,
We're good.
none being, I'll entertain a motion to accept the selection criteria that the captain gave us. We have a motion 1, Gail, motion 2, Ron, and we'll go to a vote. Karen?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Gail?
Aye.
Myself, aye. So part 2 passes unanimously also. And please forgive me, I thought that was all one combined thing. I apologize. That was my fault. So at this point, Captain, before we let you go, our next meeting was set, we moved it for you, and it's set on the 23rd. We made a change, so we're still set for that, correct?
Sorry, I had to unmute myself. Yes, we're still set for the May meeting, but we were looking at changing the June.
You are requesting to make a change in June?
May 23rd, what, we had that meeting scheduled for the 23rd in May.
Yes, ma'am.
And what we're wanting to do is try to change that meeting again, just because we have had such a shortage on applicants. We're going to be able to move our hiring process up several weeks by doing this, which would mean that we would have to meet sooner than later. So the May 16th, we're going to do oral interviews on May 9th. We typically do oral interviews over a 3 to 4 day span. We're now only having to do it for 1 day. And we'll be able to have those results back by midweek. So we would be able to go to you guys by May 16th with those results to move on to backgrounds, if they were to be included after the oral interview.
So you're requesting to change May date that we changed and change June? Is that correct?
Correct. That is correct.
What dates are you looking at for June? We're going to have to take that under advisement and see what we can do about timing
So it
for
looks
that.
like June 13th is actually a regular scheduled meeting. Correct, Kathy?
Correct. June 13th is our regular meeting, yes.
We'll be good with the June 13th to be able to do the eligibility list with you guys. The May 23rd, which we had changed originally, we're going to want to change it to the 16th just to try to basically get people hired and then more than likely start a whole new hiring process again.
So we will actually put a new item up for business, item C, which is a request for the captain to change the May 23rd meeting
And we can't meet at 6.
to the 16th of May. And Kathy is informing me that we cannot meet at regular time. What time would we be
The
able to
Fort
meet?
Harrison Reuse Authority has an assembly room from 5:30 to 6.
So we would have to meet at 5 o'clock.
Excuse me, may I insert something there?
Yes, ma'am.
At this time, the Reuse Authority is contemplating moving the meeting to the 19th. So it could be possible that the 16th would be available. If Kathy, if you want to double check with Heather on that, or if you'd like me to do that, we could probably tentatively set it for the 16th.
Or we can meet right after the Fort Harrison Reuse. We're done.
Let's just kind of have some open discussion here. If we did move this to the 16th as being requested, are we going to have a problem getting a quorum at 5 o'clock?
I don't think so.
No, I'll be here.
You all feel confident it would work for you at this point?
No,
Okay.
the 16th of May,
Yes, sir.
fine.
All right. At this point, then, the chair would entertain the motion to change the meeting, to cancel the meeting on May 23rd and call a special meeting on the 16th of May, primarily to deal with the hiring process and the subject matter that the captain will provide us. Do I have at 5 o'clock instead of our 6 o'clock timeline? Do I have a motion?
I'll make it.
Ron, we have first. A second.
I'll second it.
Gail has a second. So up for a vote will be this. Canceling our May 23rd regular meeting, adding a special meeting of May 16th at 5 p.m. All those in favor? Karen?
Aye.
Ron?
Aye.
Bob?
Aye.
Gail? And I. All right. Got it, Captain. No problem. We got you taken care of there.
Thank you, everyone.
Well,
So just Karen, if that does come about, the change that you spoke of, that'd be great. Otherwise, you can let them know it'll be very quick. We'll be in and out and they'll be able to take their seats. I would say no later than quarter after 5 because this will be just a one item, very quick meeting. We won't interfere with them at all. But if so, great. If not, it'll still be available there for them.
Okay,
But when you do find that out, if you could let me know, I would appreciate it.
not changing June.
sure.
At this point, just to clarify, Captain, we do not need to change June, correct? June is fine at this point.
That is correct.
Okay.
We've many different dates that we will be fine for the June 13th date.
And again, that May 16th will be a special. So all we're allowed to discuss at this point is the captain's agenda. All right, moving on. Performance recognition, Chief. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. I appreciate the time on that. Yes, ma'am.
Get our officer down here in just a moment. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize the good work of one of our officers. They're doing great work on a daily basis, of course, but this particular one stands out. So to give you a little bit of background, invite Officer Cody Anderson to the front here. Back in March, we had the FOP, the Fraternal Order of Police, Lodge 159, had an awards banquet out at Daniel's Vineyard. It's first one we've done since 2018, and we give out several performance awards at that particular banquet. The good thing about these awards and medals that we give, these are all voted on by a panel or by a committee of peers of officers. This is not necessarily the administration saying we're going to give these awards. These are nominated and recognized by their peers on the department. And I know all of us that have served in law enforcement. Some of the greatest recognition that we can receive is when we're recognized by our peers, when our fellow officers say, you know what, that was some really good work that you did there, and they vote to recognize that with one of the department awards. So this is one of those. Officer Anderson here was not able to attend the awards banquet that night. You were working, is that right?
No, I was in St. Louis.
All right, so he was in St. Louis for a wedding, but anyway, he was not able to attend. So we're honored to go ahead and give that this certificate of outstanding performance to Officer Cody Anderson here this evening. So on October 2nd of 2021, officers responded to an incident at 42nd and Franklin involving a carjacking with a person shot and a crash occurring on both sides of the intersection. This 42nd and Franklin is a shared jurisdictional boundary between us and IMPD East District. So I think the incident actually started over on the East District, but quickly spilled over onto us as they crossed the street in their multi-armed felon crime spree that they were on there. So the crash occurred on both sides of the intersection, causing a multi-jurisdictional response between Lawrence Police and IMPD. Officer Cody Anderson responded to the evolving incident and developed suspect information from viewing surveillance footage from a gas station at that intersection. Officer Anderson quickly and efficiently shared images of the suspect from the surveillance video. Now, what enabled him to do that was our body-worn camera system that we have that allows officers to share images like that with each other very quickly. So he was able to get not only the suspect description, but an actual image of that suspect almost real time. As soon as he views the video, takes a picture of it, sends it out to the rest of the officers. It's a really terrific use of technology and maximum use of our body-worn camera system. As officers remained in the area searching for the suspect, Officer Emil Flowey observed a person meeting the suspect description, who upon observing officers in their marked cars, this individual took off running from the officers. That's usually a clue to us when somebody takes off running, right? Officers soon captured the suspect, with one officer observing the suspect tossing a handgun into a nearby tree line. That handgun was recovered. So the communication between officers and the tenacity to continue searching for dangerous armed suspects are what makes this case and this investigation stand out. Officer Emil Flowey and Officer Cody Anderson are awarded the Certificate of Outstanding Performance for their dedication, commitment to excellence, and professionalism. Well done. Well done. Here's your certificate. Good job. Thank you.
Is that ours or the one from the FOP?
This is one that's actually from the department. It's not necessarily from the commission. This is a voted on, like, official award of the department. So there's no signature on this one.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Thanks for coming, sir. You're welcome.
Thank you very much, sir. Keep it up.
Thank you.
All right, Chief, comment of the chief. Anything to bring us up to speed on? Or?
I did want to clarify a couple of things. With this most recent hiring process that we're in now, I wanted to clarify a couple of things. We invited 110 applicants to our physical agility test. We had 18 total show up. That's about an 80% attrition rate. I'm sure there's better math than that. Keep in mind, I went to Arlington High School, so, right? So, yeah, that's a significantly high attrition rate at the physical agility test. Typically, we see about a 50%. This is a historic data over about a 10-year period. We see about a 50% attrition rate there. So there was really no reasonable way we could anticipate that we were only going to have 18 people show up out of 110 who indicated interest in joining our department. So we're taking a hard look at examining, all of our processes when it comes to hiring. But I just wanted to share that with the commission that, times are evolving. We may be coming back and asking for some adjustments as long as we can do so legally. Of course, we want to make sure we're acting within our, the parameters of the law. But I just wanted to clarify what the issue was. We received several applicants or, pre-interest forms, if you will. 110 of them got invited to the physical agility. 18 of them came. And 9 of them moved forward after the physical agility and the written testing. So this is not something that's unique to Lawrence. This is being experienced by law enforcement agencies across the country. So it's a little bit of a different situation that, again, we're taking a very hard look at our processes to see what we can make improvement on. We do that all the time anyway, but in this one in particular. So does the commission have any questions as far as the reason for that?
ILEA has standards for entry there. So even if we adjust ours, we have to stay at least at that standard, right?
Absolutely, yeah, for the physical agility, yes. This is not the Lawrence Police saying you have to do this.
Yep.
These are state standards that an individual has to meet.
Everybody's having a problem here.
I'm even talking about the recruitment up front. We were aggressive in our recruiting process in this one. We were out there. We're out there on TV, we're out there on social media, we're out there on the internet, but there's always room for improvement. But we're checking with even internally with our officers. Hey, what can harness the collective energy and thoughts of every member of our department, and we should, every member of the department is a recruiter almost 24/7 just by our deed and our actions, and everybody knows that. But we can always step up our game. So it's a competitive field now. There's the pool of people who are interested in joining the profession of law enforcement is dwindling, and we hope to be a part of reinvigorating that.
By the way, congratulations. I didn't get a chance to tell you.
Thank you. It's an honor to be asked to continue to serve in this capacity. It really is.
Chief, I definitely understand what you're saying, but I've got to tell you, just for the short tenure I've had here from when I began back in, was it about 2016 or something like that, and the way the process was done, and then Chief Hoffman and Eric, Captain Snyder and yourself came up with that new way of taking that process that goes 9 months to a year, condensing it, was very, unique for around here. Nobody was doing a program like that. And we've had lots of success with it. And I don't mean to speak out of turn, but I don't see there's anything wrong with your process. I think you guys are running a fantastic process. Take advantage of the candidate that may be running in 2 or 3 programs.
Right.
And because this one's running a little faster, it actually puts you in the advantage. I think, as you stated, that it's just a sign of the times. Just the pool of applicants is lower, and
there are many factors, and by no means, if I misspoke, and that sounded even remotely critical of anybody, I did not intend that.
Oh, no.
Schneider has done magnificent.
Oh, absolutely. I'm just saying I'm very impressed with the way it had taken off, because, again, there are other agencies that I know that have basically mirrored Lawrence's program and are doing the same thing, because they were seeing the same thing. Somebody waiting around for a year to find out if they got a position or not. They're moving on. They're bailing out because they find something else, or they lose interest, or some other agency calls them first.
And we've all worked hard to make Lawrence a destination department, a very desirable department to be a part of, and we're there. We are the leaders, not just in the state, but I would submit nationwide.
I guess what it comes down to is what I'm trying to say as a member of this commission. I still hold my head up high, even though we had as few as we did. And I think all of you should still continue, because it's nothing that we as a commission did or did not do. And I truly don't believe it's anything that you as a department did or did not do. You're right. You guys were out there. I was seeing it on all the different platforms. I believe it's just a sign of the times. Not to, by no means, put law enforcement on the same stature as a fast food restaurant, but if we can't keep a fast food restaurant open more than 4 hours a day because people don't want to work, it's really hard to get somebody to say, hey, we want to dedicate your life to a profession. That's what you might have to do, is dedicate your life to it.
Right.
So I think it's going to be an uphill battle. And I believe when we do have smaller pools like this, and as long as they're testing, evaluating, and going through the process properly, frankly, I think we're getting the cream, and there's less to throw away.
Right.
So if we have to do another one, we will always be here in support of you to do whatever we can. But again, I'd rather have the cream than settle for some of the spoiled stuff at the bottom and then have to deal with that later. That's my own personal opinion.
Absolutely. Thank you for those affirmations. We've done well with our hiring, and we're going to continue to do that. And it doesn't hurt to, take a look to see what we can always do to improve the quality of what we're doing.
Anything else, Chief?
That's all.
If not, we will see you on 16th possibly with the captain. Citizen comments, we have none on the phone and we have none in person. So at this point, we will adjourn at 6:33 p.m.